Okay, folks, there's somebody online and gave me a thumbs up before I even got online. Probably still waiting from the Mondo painting session that we had yesterday. It's a record breaker, 9.5 hours. We got a lot done. Finished up the Irish and started the beginnings of the new project. And with a clean slate. We're gonna try this angle here. I think I still managed to get my fat head into into pictures. Yesterday. Let's see, let me drop this a little bit. The more I drop it, the less likely my head's gonna be in it. Okay, so if you guys weren't paying attention, the next army I'm working on is Matthias Black Army, late Hungarians. And we got some figures that we already primed black. Now, I got a new product yesterday. That's this Vallejo surface primer. And so far, so good. It works really well. So, seems to be a good value. So, even though it's kind of pricey for being $20 for that bottle of it, but it goes on really smooth. And here's some of the figures that we did yesterday. Missed a couple of spots, but that's to be expected. I'm gonna do a little bit of a cleanup on them. So I'm gonna do first. Yeah, we'll do the Saloy stand first. We'll do the Saloy stand. We're gonna clean these guys up now. I meant to get all the flash on them, but you know how that goes. There's a little bit of flash here. I think that's it. I'm not worried about putting the black undercoat, the special undercoat, on this spot. It's not going to wear out at all where it is. So we'll just use black paint for that. Right. Elmer shouldn't be up there. All right. Let us begin. The first thing we do with one of these is we contaminate it with these two colors, the black and the white. We're going to use that everything we do. And we'll put them in the central place to make sure we can access it from all sides. Okay. Actually, hold on. Let's give this a wipe. This one of these somewhere. I think I had an extra one. I'll throw it away.
Yeah, no.
No, we don't want to take the cap off. We just want to get all that crud off of it. Should be good enough. This is tilted a tiny little bit because of that. Yeah, I don't think you guys can see it. There's maybe a 5-degree angle in it. All right. So let's go ahead and get our brush. Actually, I put all my brushes away like a good boy. Yep, that's one of them. Yep. All right, so we're going to look for the spots that we missed. Here we just scuffed it up with a little bit of flash. He's done. He's done. Might as well do the same thing with the Armati. These are cool figures. These happen to be round way. And I've used these figures in particular with all my late 1400 period armies. These round way guys paint up really nicely. Okay. Where'd my water go? It's over here now. Okay. And put that on there. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to start with the Hungarians, the Hungarian Saloy. Yeah, all that, and I still missed a spot up here. Yeah, it's kind of never ending. If you end up using a flat color, it's easier to find. If if you're using like a gloss black or a semi-gloss black, it's difficult to, you always get these little shine and this tease of, oh, this piece is unpainted, and it really isn't. All right. Let's get this a little closer. Get our little airbrush thinner. Is it empty? Yeah, it evaporates overnight. Or wedding drops, as I like to call it. Let's get these Armati guys out of here. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get my Known oil. Thank you. All right. And we're gonna put metallics in the corner like we always do. There's going to be a lot of metal in this army. That is for sure. Now, first things first, do we have a dry brushing brush? We do have one. Where is it, is the question. This one should do fine. And woe is me, what am I doing painting here without my magic cardboard? That's not like me. There we go. This ended up sliding here. There we go. Okay, let's look at dry brushing opportunities on this guy. All right, he has a chainmail dicky. I guess that's what that is. And he's got arms in chainmail. Okay, cool. And this guy has, looks like chainmail that's underneath his shirt there. Okay, that's all he has chainmail wise. Okay, cool. These guys don't have any chainmail, it's just plate. Yep. All right. Okay, let's bring this in. Just a paper plate. Which one of these was the dry brusher? Is it this one? Yep. All right. I'm going to try to minimize the overlap, but there's going to be some, especially since I'm using a brush this big, but I don't want to ruin a smaller brush. Okay. Essex does not have the deepest grooves in chainmail, which of course means they're probably closer to actual scale than they would be for the other manufacturers. But you got to be really careful that you don't clog them, because it's harder for the chainmail to show if you put too much paint on there, as opposed to say like Old Glory that has very deep rings in the chainmail. These are more minimalist. Not minimalist, they're smaller. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and dump him in. We don't have any more dry brushing to do. Now we're going to grab a regular brush and get rid of that cardboard paper. I'll try using the cardboard paper instead of dry brushing on here. I don't have to look at the damn thing the rest of the day. Good morning, Jeffrey. You back for more? Roundway were the first metal figures I bought late 1980s, Napoleonics on ECW. They were sold by Navwar. I was big in naval then. I love the Roundway figures. I don't have any of those. I'm talking about their medievals. I love them. These figures are superb. This casting, I've used them in many armies. I just love the styling of them. They're just enough detail. They're simplistic and yet not. So they have good poses. Something with that other figure manufacturers struggle with. You know, one thing is, are they good castings? And the other ones, why would the guy be, think of them as like statues. Like, why would you make a statue of a person in that position? There's some really awkward poses out there by some manufacturers. Runways seem to be, I think all of them, pretty normal. I don't think there's any. Well, I mentioned it in this guy. Okay, so you got this Hussar type guy. All right, this is a good pose. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can't have 20 guys in your army in the same exact pose, because it's something that only happens in a second. As opposed to, in other words, you don't go and ride from Buda to Turgoviste riding like this the entire time. Whereas if you were going on a long ride, you could conceivably be carrying a horse lance like this for a long period of time. Okay? That's what I'm getting at. That it's, a guy like this, that's a spearman, he can hold his spear and just be at the ready for a long time. But if he's in one of the, and this is an Essex figure, so Essex struggles, in my opinion, with a lot of weird, odd posings a lot of the time. You'll get guys that's like, what are the odds that I would have caught a guy in that position? You'll have them like, I don't want to have anything to do with this lance kind of thing. And it's not that their castings are bad, because after painting the Irish, I've painted more Essex figures than I ever have just in the Irish army. And the Essex figures are really good. They have really good faces. They paint up really well. But a lot of them in a lot of the armies just have really weird poses. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's my gripe with Essex. And they're a little short in the leg department, but all figures are quirky, So that doesn't really bother me. It's just the weird poses. Maybe I'll be bored one time and I'll make a video of all the weird posed figures. Like, really, what's this guy doing over here? I have that one guy that's handing out javelins. He seems weird, but yeah. So it's more poses than the figure manufacturers, because I don't mind using old figures and ones that don't get any love that nobody thinks about. So, but yeah, I tend to really like the I tend to really like the round ways. Okay, so let's paint some helmets. So we've got our black color here. I mean, our metal color here. Put weird poses and weird facial structures. This guy's got some metal on his crossbow there. That's my gripe with Corvus Belli too. People love Corvus Belli, and I just don't like they've got weird poses and they've got big cheekbones. No, don't get me wrong, it's a better sculpting than I would ever do. But I'm just a painter. Um, I used to paint World War II 20 millimeter a lot. There was a company called FAA, Figures of Armor and Artillery. They had the same problem. They had these folks that had these huge bulging cheekbones, and they all had the same face. So you've got this human abnormality, and everybody in the entire army has it. It's like it wasn't my cup of tea. But there's fans of people of things, you know. People love those Corvus Belli figures. I've seen them, and I'm like, and I've got a few of them that I've picked up from a grab bag. Some of their figures are just fine. Some of their dismounted knights that have, I believe they have bassinets, are really nice looking figures. But as soon as they take the helmet off, man, it's like some of them are just really weird. Old Glory, I love Old Glory, but Old Glory has some figures also that have cheekbone issues, bulging eyes, you know. This crossbowman I'm painting, this Essex pose, this guy could be in this pose for, I don't know. So, okay, sit there and wait for me till we get back. All right, cool. He's, you know, in an hour, he could still be holding this pose. It's not unnatural. It's a good figure. I'm going to be painting a lot of cheeks in this army. This is a chins. Okay, we have a lot of salets in this army, so they're going to have the lower portion of the face exposed. Kind of like who is it? Judge Dredd. Oh, okay, that's metallic. And so is this part you stick your foot in to crank this thing down. I don't care for Essex crossbows, how they're cast. They're weird. They're like minimalist. Okay, he's done. And we're gonna put a Nuln Oil wash on him. Oh, he's got the armor pads on his knees. All right, let's go ahead and get that as well. While we're here, like I know there's gonna be metallic stuff on the sword. We're leaving that alone. We'll come back to that. We'll do the swords on their own, sort of thing. So, okay. And this guy is right here. Let's see, he's got the same type of helmet. overslept a little this morning. I got up at 5:30 instead of 5, so. I'm not going to beat yesterday's painting session like that. Now, that's a record. Don't expect that all the time. Everything just kind of played out perfectly. I was able to stay home and nobody else was here. So I made good use of that. You try to do that whenever you can, because it makes up for Monday through Friday when it's unlikely that I'm going to get hardly any. It's not likely I'm going to get much done. Okay, what else is metal on him? He doesn't have the knee pads. Not knee pads, but the knee protectors. Let's paint the stuff on the crossbow on this guy. We're gonna have to dumb this army down a lot when they fight the Turks. We're gonna have to, like no war wagons. They'll have to have the handgunners and stuff instead of the war wagons. Turks got no way of dealing with war wagons unless they only have one artillery piece. So I'm here with Mark watching you and the Rock's Hercules. You mean a movie that was Hercules with the Rock? Come on, you could do better than that. I've never seen it, but I did see the preview. Yeah, you're watching from the future. Yeah, what's the future look like, Greg? It looks grim, huh? Hercules. Can't you just watch Braveheart instead? I was thinking about that the other day. I was watching a discussion about, I don't know how I forgot it. I don't know how I got on it, but, it was somebody had mentioned The Patriot. So then it started talking about Mel Gibson movies. And I think of course, I'm not a big movie person from the standpoint remembering it's who's the director and stuff for things, but I think the only Mel Gibson movie that I've seen that I've liked has been Apocalypto. And I only saw it once in the movie theater. We saw it with the whole clan, went to go watch it, and I thought it was pretty good, but I've only seen it one time. But I think it's a Mel Gibson movie. I would have probably painted a conquistador army if I already had the figures. See, another determination on what army I was going to do is I didn't want to have to buy most of the figures. That's what kept me from getting from doing the Wallachians. Is I would have had to buy, I don't know, $30, $40 worth of figures, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that with the big pile of lead that I have. So, okay. All right, so I'm thinking this army is going to have they are mercenaries, but there's going to be a lot of tie-in with red and white. So this guy's wearing a tunic. It's split with buttons on the front. I'm thinking I could do one half red, one half white. But he's also a lowly guy, so maybe not. This guy's all one color tunic, so let's see what we got. Let's Let's do that split on that. Those are fun to do. And pants, we'll do like bluish gray pants, and we'll do brown boots. Right. Let's get some red. Be a lot of red in this army. Ooh. A lot of red and a lot of metal in this army. Man, these reds are tight. I can't get a grip on one of them. All right, well, you know what that means. That means one of them's gonna, man, they're jammed in here. Thank you. We'll get this other color to go up there. All right. Black Army is a very interesting choice. I didn't see that coming. Yeah. Well, you know what pushed me over the edge is I started reading about them, and I didn't realize that the Hungarians fought the Germans. Not only that, they took Vienna, and I'm like, well, I'm doing those guys. That's cool, because I like my late medieval, my late German armies. I hate calling those. I hate calling them medieval Germans. I really should. They really should be called imperialist or especially the D list. The D list should be called Maximilian Imperial. But anyhow, yeah, that was the selling point. Yeah, and then and then I had to do a lot of research because I wasn't convinced that I'm being not so smart. Let's do this because we're gonna have to let this set a little bit. I was wanted to make sure that we could use the same one. It'd be fine. I wanted to make sure that they didn't use black armor because it's like, oh, well, they're named the Black Army because they use black armor. No, I mean, that's I think an urban legend because blackened armor wasn't really prevalent until like the 1550s. I don't know if you saw I know you haven't seen my painting, my 9.5 hour marathon, but I did a head swap in it. I'd never done a head swap, and we swapped out his head because this particular guy had a bearded head that looked very similar to the Duke of Alba. But this guy is, paying my Irish, I came across this head, and it's pretty close to Matthias. I may put some green stuff and give him more of a mullet. No, I guess that would be what it is. I may do that. I may not. So, yeah, I did that. It took a little bit of patience, but anyhow, these museum figures have extremely long toes. Very strange. Those in particular. I like that sculptor, but he's weird sometimes. We're not going to do this treatment on the chainmail. We're going to leave the chainmail as is. All right. I'm not going to jump in and do all the armati. We could do the armati at once. I want to get sidetracked, and it's bad enough I'm doing the metal on two different figures at once. All right, so this guy's going to be our first guinea pig. He's going to be split red, split white. Which side's going to be which one? Does it really matter? No. We're going to have wood here, so red or the white, it won't matter. It won't matter on this end either. All right, let's just jump in and do the red. Yeah, you might have to fast forward that video. Yeah, I got this stuff too. This came in the mail yesterday. I'm sold on this as my primer. I'm out of it anyways. I was having to do calisthenics to get the primer to work. I needed to buy more, so that worked really well. And I also got the DBMM book on book 4. So I was gonna do an unboxing video, but I'm like, nah, I gotta get stuff painted. I gotta get stuff painted. So yeah, I put together some armies too. Anglo-Normans. I put together the Anglo-Norman army. I put together my Mamelukes. Yeah, all book 4, baby. All right, let's do the red first because it's more fun. All right, let's split this. Right here. The selling point of this army was doing the flags. That's actually what pushed me over the edge was Marty ended up giving me some war wagons. I didn't have war wagons for this army. So I'm like, cool, I have war wagons. And I looked at it deeper and I'm like, oh no, these are the Polish war wagons. I mean, I could use them and nobody would know the difference except me. And that's enough that would bother me. So I got to get some Hussite war wagons. These guys apparently recruited ex Hussite guys to help them fight. So, of course, they won't have all the Hussite paraphernalia. Their icons and stuff. They're gonna be Hungarianed out. So lots of stuff to hand paint. But I like that. That's why I'm not doing book 1 armies. One of these days I'll get around to doing the Assyrians. But there's just none of that. There's none of that special stuff you could do with them. You could give them striped pants, but then they're going to look like clowns. Even though they're kind of like that stripy stuff. So, all right, let's come back to red. Really liking this the thinner too. I read somewhere that it doesn't water down the paint; it just thins it down, which sounds really hokey until you use it, and then you're like, yeah, it kind of is. If I did this with water, it wouldn't be as smooth to do it. Okay, where is yellow? We need to find a use for this damn watery yellow anyways. Might as well use it as highlighting. War paints. I don't know if I'm going to buy any more war paints again. They have too much acrylic in them. The colors aren't bad. That's the reason I got them, is they have nice colors, but all right. They just they don't cover the same. They feel weird. These wedding drops really help from the standpoint of the paint on here doesn't dry out, and then you put more paint on and then you lose the point. It seems to help. Maybe I'm just fooling myself, but it seems to be helpful. Okay, there's the red. Let's do the white. And you get a refill here. Wake up juice. Okay, and more white. Let's bring this up. Okay. I think that's good for now. Let's do his pants. Oh, one of them. Okay. Let's see if we got better luck with this. Yep. Got some bluish tint in it. I could have just used gray, but want a little bit of something in there. I don't want them to be bright. And expensive tints cost money, so. This guy's a mercenary. He'd rather spend his money on whores. I did my research. That's how it is. I never put Nolan oil on his knee pads. No big deal. Just annoying that you have to go back and do it. Not that it's some catastrophic failure that can't be done. Can't be undone, so. Here we go. I heard they changed the name of this stuff again. I haven't been able to verify it. I'm gonna go get some more coffee. I'll be right back, folks. All right. I spent a lot of time in this room yesterday. A lot of time. Like 12 hours, maybe longer. That's what we have it for. Okay. Right. Yeah, old Longshanks will have to wait. We'll have to do him at some later point. I got a book on my Audible list on him anyways, so I don't want to get jumping on him without reading the book on him first. I don't think I have to buy any figures for that army. I got archers and all kinds of stuff coming out of the wazoo. I gotta paint those three laying down lions on his hindquarters, 3 on each side on his horse, which would scare the shit out of some people, but I think that exciting and motivating to try to do that. You just got to break those things down into parts, into pieces. I like that kind of stuff. I love the heraldry stuff. There's not going to be a whole lot of that on the actual knights here because they're mercenaries. There's going to be a very little bit. I'm mostly going to save that stuff for the spearmen and the war wagons. So we're going to have some, it won't be individual heraldry. It'll be, heraldry of the army kind of thing. So yeah, just you wait. It'll turn out great. Really looking forward to that. I was actually going to do the war wagons first, and then realized that I don't have the right war wagons. Well, let me work on some of the other stuff while the war wagons come in. Okay. Time to flesh this guy out. Let's get our usual suspects. See if I can get the right paint. I can't see all the way out there. Red leather. And Scunny. Here we go again, saying it wrong. Sunny skin tone. I'm such trouble with that. I can't say sunny. I can't say sunny skin tone, but I can say cavalry, the word that everybody seems to have trouble with and drives me bananas. No, we're talking about horses, not the Jesus Hill. Yeah, see, I'd buy brushes if there was a pack of just brushes like this. I'd buy like, 440 of them because this is a really useful size for 15s anyways. But you can't go by brush size. You got to look at the individual brush because they're not all created equal. There's not enough of this on here. I'm gonna go to a bigger brush. We're gonna stick with this one. We'll paint this other guy's flesh later. I don't like the hop from figure to figure. It's annoying to put the coin down, pick up another coin kind of thing. I guess that's where the advantage of maybe using a popsicle stick like lots of people use, but I don't want the other figure on other popsicles, part of the popsicle stick to get in my way, so. No need to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Get out the sunny skin tone. What is that sound? I keep hearing this whirring. Let's see if it's this. guess the speed the fan's at is getting a little bit of reverb on it. I don't hear worth a crap in real life, so the fact that it's because it's a low tone, I can hear it. Because it's a low tone and I'm not saying anything. We'll try to give them 4 visible fingers, but they got to cast them on there. I actually painted brown in the middle of the vision slit. I just figured that was a really big slit to be still completely black in there, so you need to give the impression that there's something fleshy inside. But we're not going to highlight that anymore. We're leaving it at that. Just the base color for the flesh. Because it'd be in lots of shadows in there. So. All right. Okay. Happy with that. Right. All right. Where do we go from here next? We could do his boots, but I want to do those last because they ended up getting scuffed up by me turning this guy around. We got a Let's take a look at something. I have the Osprey book on these guys, or the closest Osprey book to them, and it's damn near worthless because it focuses on an earlier period. It's this book right here, Hungary in the Fall of Eastern Europe. It's damn near worthless for this period. So I'm going to look at some crossbows. Of course, this isn't the definitive answer on anything. It just kind of gives you some ideas. I prefer to do a lighter colored crossbow because it's going to pop a little bit better. No, nothing. I could look in other books, but I'm not so worried about it. Let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead and grab our new leather brown. I believe that's over here. Is this the flat earth one? This is the flat earth. Okay, where's the leather brown one? There it is. Damn near the same thing. This is the color I was looking for. Okay. British Khaki. Oop. My favorite paint, still my favorite paint. Coat d'Arms. Not my favorite bottles, but my favorite paint. Not my favorite bottles because hell, this one even cracked. But I don't want to transfer them over into something else. It's a pain in the ass. That was not worth my time. That was not time well spent. And that crack doesn't seem to be doing anything to it. Come on, get this out of here. There we go. Let's get, which one of these is a crappy brush? This one. Let's get some of this paint out here. There we go. I don't care what method you use, you always end up wasting more paint than you use. Jeez, I've been invaded by paint. There's all kinds of stuff sitting over here. Oh well. It happens, right? Alright, this is the color we're going to use for the crossbow. This is a medium color and has a lot of depth. This will be our crossbow color. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our mix. Got paint on me. Yeah, it'll come off. Just distracting. As long as it doesn't come off on anybody else, that's cool. That'd be pretty cool to get this Saloy stand done this morning. Be off to a good start. Okay, now we got the base color. Now we start doing one of the things I like to do the most. That's to make something look like wood that isn't wood. You know, there's a tiny little piece of flash there. And I might as well deal with it now instead of later. There we go. Much better. It was in 3-dimensional, so that was the part that needed to go. Okay, now we're going to take the same color, let's add some white to it. And then let's start adding, making it look woody. These crossbows are so basic looking, they could use extra little details, so. Like Canon, I love doing this with Canon. Once I got a wooden carriage. Okay, and then maybe one level up a little bit. Yeah, we're good with that. Yeah, just got to give it the impression that it's made of wood. It's a Hungarian Black Army. It is a Hungarian Black Army. It's the start. This is this first figure. Gonna be working on these guys for a couple of months. For sure. I don't know how that brown got there. Yeah, I don't know how that brown got there. I don't paint anything brown, but that's what we're going to use. Oh, that's right. We're going to use a leather brown. Well, we'll go ahead and paint the. We're going to go ahead and paint the thing that the crossbow bolts go in that color. How about that? Yeah, I never really heard about these guys. That's the best thing about wargaming is you're learning real stuff. So that's my first step army. Which reminds me, I wanted to see something. Let me pull myself off into a tangent. Let's see here. Book 443C. That's not what I wanted to see. Step. I don't know the step terrain types. I know mandatory is gentle hills. We've got some new gentle hills to do. That should take no time at all. 1 or 2 gentle hills, river, rocky, scrub, only 1 gully, and a BUA. Okay, cool. Excellent. BUA, huh? Maybe we can do something fun with that. Maybe we can do something fun with that. These guys have folks to defend them. They got spearmen, blades. All right. And when 2 war wagons, they don't have to have a camp. We just got to make sure that those deep nights don't get the shit shot out of them, because the first one counts as an extra element killed. So we got to protect those guys until we throw them into the infantry. But that's part of the fun, right? Avoiding avoiding the issues that aren't advantageous to you and maximizing those that are. Barely make out a bolt in there. Barely make one out. That's gonna pop really nice. Okay. Sword scabbard. I don't want to do a standard leather or a reddish one. We're gonna do one of these. Of course, it's not gonna be this yellow. This is almost like what I would call Japanese army uniform for World War II. This khaki color. It's greenish. Yeah, you throw in a little color in there so things don't look so darn drab, but then not something super bright. Okay. Couple things. Let's go ahead and let's mix a color for the handle of the sword. And let's do the back of the crossbow bolts. I tend to do them in white. They work okay. I've used other colors before, but when in doubt, just use white tips. Okay, and he's going to have brown boots on him. Now we already got some brown there, and I'm not particularly any one, so we're going to go ahead and just use that one. What does that leave on this guy? Nothing? Did we just get a figure done? Oh, it is almost 8, so. Okay, we're done except for one thing. We're going to come in with a next shade brighter, which would be Iron Breaker. Ah, crap. It'll be all right. I think that was dry anyways. I'm going to go here. It doesn't make that much of a difference on the metals, one brighter than the other. But every little bit helps. I don't know exactly what people use the Nuln oil for, but I use it to kind of create one shade darker than this first one. So I don't have to go up to the mithril silver to get 3 shades in there. And honestly, sometimes I forget to use it. Sometimes I'll be done and I'm like, oh, I didn't put any Nuln oil on there. It's not really necessary. Right. This fellow's done. And of course, it won't look It won't. I don't think it looks worth a damn until I end up doing the varnishing on them. And the lighting in here is not very good. Well, for the camera, it's not. Yeah. Okay, first Hungarian done. Next Hungarian. Only got 70 more to go. There's a lot of folks on this army. War wagons are going to have a lot of people in them. There could be 6 people on each one of those. You have 4 inside and then 2 guys on the ground. So, only reason I'm going to put guys on the ground is because opportunity to paint some shields. So, all right, so let's take a look at this dude. Okay, so this guy's got leggings on. He has a padded overcoat. This guy's got a really small container for the crossbow bolts. He's got a very small magazine restriction. He must be from Massachusetts. Is there any red I can put on this guy? I don't think so. Because the padded jacket is going to be kind of a natural color. Oh wait, what did I just see? He's got armored thingies on his elbows. He's got armored thingies on his elbows. Okay, cool. We can make his padded. We can make his padded jacket a faded red, and then we're going to give him green pants because we're going to have to try to tie in the red, green, white thing in throughout the whole army. We don't want it to be crazy, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, let's start with the pants. Actually, let's start with the pants, and let's start with this color should be fine, the black green, but I was actually looking for an old Games Workshop color that I had. This one, Dark Angels green. Is it almost the same color? Almost exactly the same. This is the color that I used to use back in the day to paint the collar on the on my Wehrmacht troops. It worked really well for that, you know, as a base. So. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to put some green down, and it's going to have green leggings. It can be colorful. You just got to be a little subtle about it. You can't just go apeshit. Well, you can do whatever you want in your army. I'm just saying, you know, this is how I roll. So. No regrets painting. Let's go ahead and knock this out because we're going to have to drop some Nuln Oil on this. So let's go ahead and paint these little shoulder things, these the elbow pads. We never did the Nuln Oil to this helmet. That's cool. It dries quick enough as it is. Okay. Okay. Let's go and do the green now like we planned. Now we're going to actually fade this. So any lightning, I'm not going to use yellow to it. I'm going to add white on purpose. Let's paint everything here. Now the other thing is this could end up being a shirt. I think there's a, so that's how half the stuff is on a miniature. Sometimes you have to figure out what exactly is this guy wearing. Yeah, it looks like he's got a shirt under a vest. So maybe I'll give him red sleeves, and we'll make the vest like a natural color. I think that'll be better. And we won't do any. Well, we'll worry about that when we get there. How about that? I'll make sure we'll make the right decision. All right, let's brighten this up some now. Good morning, Neil. I love this period and location of medieval history. Don't know enough about it, though, apart from Vlad. I didn't either. I did not either. I was just looking for an army that was an enemy of the Turks and that ended up being an enemy of the Germans. And I found out this guy took Vienna, and really interesting. And I already had lots of the knights that would work for the period, and it would just seem like a win. And it's a way to do war wagons, make my own flags. Just seemed to have everything going for it. I even did a head swap. Things are going really well. Already got a guy painted. Yeah, these guys should be able to dumb down for a Wimp Wars. They should be able to bulk up for an Open. We got interesting allies, all kinds of stuff. I was actually going to build the Wallachian army next, but I realized I was going to have to buy damn near all the figures, and I just don't want to spend that kind of money on buying an army from scratch, especially when I have so much lead. So yeah, so I'm kind of addicted to doing the whole Wimp Wars and the Saloy silliness. So that's kind of, if I could do both of those things, that would be helpful. But I'm just going to have to forego the Saloy silliness on this army. I don't think I can dumb these guys down enough to get 6 units of Saloy even with allies. So and the flags really. So man, I want to do some flags. I want to do some flags like there's no tomorrow. So that's kind of the new thing. But no, I don't really know about this period at all. That's the reason you war game, do historical war gaming. You get to learn about it. That's the way. That's the reason I historical war game. But I like this period. I like this period from after the Hundred Years' War to early Renaissance. Now, like I mentioned in one of the videos yesterday, this does not forego. I may get tired of dip building this army, and I'll switch back and try to finish my Russians because that's still. I need to get those guys done. I think I need like 7 mounted figures, and then they'll be complete. Which doesn't sound very complicated, but that's still so, 50 hours, maybe 45, 50 hours worth of work. So, Okay, let me lighten that up a little bit more, but that's good for starters, just to kind of get that whole feel in there. All right, so we need to do some red sleeves. My regular gaming opponent playing DBM in the 1990s loved the Ottomans. So he messed around with all the armies at local. Lots of great games. I don't know how I don't know how the Ottomans are in DBM, but in DBA they suck. It's mostly due to that aggression 4. That aggression 4 is just brutal. They're going to get stuck in terrain that they just can't deal with. And bows. Bows just destroy them. They can't deal with bows. But I love mine. They're 18 and 36, but I still love them. I think half the thing is did you enjoy painting them? Do you enjoy looking at them as you play them, even if they get mowed down? And if it's an answer to yes to all those things, then I'm game for them. Okay. Now I got pulled 2 reds. I don't remember which one I dropped in here. I think it did the red. There's not that much of a difference on it. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the same one, but I'm gonna do a little thing. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm going to I'm gonna mix brown in with it. Okay. Because he's got pants that are bright. I don't want his shirt to be super bright too. Weird to me. So if I don't like it how it turns out, I can always change it. Yeah. Now, here we go. The way this guy's holding his crossbow at the end looks like he's pulling cards out of a shoe. Strange. Essex, you silly guys. DBM, they were as good as they had all the tools. Cav, light horse, solid foot, and lots of bodies. You had lots of options. There's no solid foot. There's no solid foot in DBA. I've got these. I've got these. I put my Mameluke army together yesterday when I was waiting for my stuff to dry, and I put So I went through my Mamelukes were in the Ottoman box, and I have these. I have like 2 packs of figures from. I have 2 packs of figures from Roundway, of 8 figures each, and they're all like they either have pole arms or they have close combat weapons and shields and stuff with the Ottomans, and they're beautiful figures. Can't use them for anything in DBA, and it's just a shame, you know. And they're not Janissary guys. They're like heavy infantry dudes, like guys that go in there and take a freaking city. Can't use them for anything. It's a shame because they're beautiful figures. So that's like, the same thing happens with the Mongols. They make lots of Mongols that are dismounted. Can't use any dismounted Mongols in DBA. So that's kind of a waste. All right, let's brighten this up some. See if I played Flames of War, there'd be special rules for those guys because they want to sell the figures of them, so they'd create a Super Troops or something. All right, I think I'm actually going to, let's do a little bit more of this, and then we're probably going to highlight with white from here. Now we're not this such a bright red. Yeah, now when we put him next to this guy who's the pure red, yeah, it's a lot more subtle. And it's going to look a little pinkish, and that's okay. All right, let's go ahead and do his vest. Now I want a natural color. We don't want a dark leather color because his accoutrements and stuff are going to be dark, so I want to make sure it's a little lighter than that. Let's see what we got here in the paint department. I think we're going to do. I'd like to use one of these. Coat the arms. Russian brown. We'll use this as the base. My friend always took a lot of Janissaries as a solid core. I would too. I would too, because they're uniform too, so they look cool. Yeah. Yeah, I like my Turks, but they can't win games. That's all right. There's a lot worse things than. There's a lot worse things than having the. It's better that the. It's better that the Turks don't take over the world. I definitely like how they look, though. They're cool. All right, so this has got some greenish tinge to it. It's that's okay, but we're not. It's not going to be super bright green or anything like that. We're going to set this over here. Leave it open for a little bit. I think we'll be all right. These coat the arms paints are very difficult to get a hold of. I'm not even sure how I got these that I have, because there's no store you could just walk in and go to them. Not here in the States. Not anywhere near me. So. And it's very hard to buy paint sight unseen, unless you're like refilling a color that you're out of. So. Okay, let's do the front. I'm just using this as a base. I could, we may light this up and take it in a different direction, kind of like what we did with the red, that we added the brown. So, you know, the world is your palette. All right, now let's see what a little bit more of the core color is going to do to this. Or it's going to be too green. All right, let's do something. Let's fast forward ahead and see what it looks like when I take and add white to this. It'd be all right. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I got more Janissaries too, but that's I think whenever I start working on my Renaissance rules, I may start over there. I may start on that area instead of starting with the Italian Wars, because the Italian Wars is just overwhelming to figure out how we're going to have the figures mounted. Although they're pretty sure it's going to be one unit, so a Swiss keel will be one chunky unit. So it might be on a 40 by 40 with 12 figures on it or something like that, or maybe even bigger. But pretty sure I'm gonna cut out cardboard. We're gonna test it with cardboard. I don't mind painting 16 figures or something like that, but I don't want to base them long. That's gonna be a nightmare to get them on there, but it'll have the right look to it as well. But no hurry. Rules are just kind of an excuse to paint figures for me. I'd rather paint, so anybody could play a game. Yep, liking that so far. I'm trying to get in the habit of calling these type of troops skirmishers, not Saloy. That's just dumb. That's what they're called in the rules, but they're just dumb to call them that. Now, if I was, say, playing Byzantines, sure. All right, where's my white at? Here. Too much, too much. Too much, too fast. Now we'll do this one. Okay. It's popping nicely. All right. Let's do some normal on this guy before we forget about that. Okay, let that settle along. And I'll use a bathroom, and then I'll be right back and we'll do some fleshy bits. Okay, flush time. First beer of the morning. I'm kidding, of course. You still call them lights from WRG 6 days. Okay. Auxiliary of the light medium infantry as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's what they should have been called. Or even medium infantry. Yeah. Right. Fleshy bits. We still have all these things alive. Perfect. Black. Oh, I'm gonna drop of water here. I want to make sure that doesn't drop down and create a mess for us. Oh man. Yeah, really happy with this the black surface primer. Especially since that's one of the things I dislike the most, is priming figures. Missing stuff and so forth, so. Yeah. Okay. Hungarian skirmishers. Yeah, people are just going to have to struggle with us using alternate terminology. I want to get in the habit of calling these guys skirmishers, and people that are watching our videos will be like, what are skirmishers? Or they're Soloi. Just like, it's just too damn difficult to remember to calling things threat zone. It just is way too difficult. So everybody knows what a zone of control is. A ZOC. Just deal with it. You don't like the terminology we use? Make your own videos, damn it. Needs to be simple. If you guys are into this late medieval, early Renaissance period, you guys haven't checked out. There's a game that's been out for a while now, but it's made by the main developer is the guy that was Richard Bodley Scott. Of course, he's got this Field of Glory thing going on as well, but the predecessor to that is that Pike and Shot game that's also made by Slytherin. I actually like it better than Field of Glory on the computer. So it's that's a fun game. Fun game. And there's Ottomans and stuff in there too. So I'm definitely going to be taking some inspiration from some aspects of that. Probably my biggest gripe about the game is it doesn't have a pip mechanism. You can do whatever you want with any unit all the time. Kind of a gripe, because I think that's one of the appeals to playing DBA is you can't do whatever you want. I like that. We like that. So it's what makes it different from anything we played before. I'm sure there's other games that have mechanisms like that. We just haven't played them. But I'm having a hard time watching videos now because I used to watch videos like learning stuff. I was just thinking, okay, I should watch a video on how they recommend you use non-oil. I'm sure it's out there, right? I mean, I know how I use it. It works fine for me, but I'm just wondering how they, but I don't watch those videos anymore while I'm painting because I'm doing this. I'm doing live videos because this keeps me on track. If I do the other stuff, the next thing you know, I'm spending, an hour each painting session or more trying to look for videos or find the perfect video. So you end up painting for 4 hours, but only getting like maybe 1 hour worth of painting done. So I've kind of stopped doing that. My only time really to check out videos is at lunchtime on a work day. So um, yeah, I'm not watching much YouTube. I'm kind of putting stuff on YouTube more than anything else, but I guess it's a trade-off. I wish I could paint quicker, but I'm not going to sacrifice quality. I think I just decided I just need to paint more often. So okay, that's done. Let's uh, let's go to this and this. Yeah, so this stuff is really strange. Okay, this airbrush thinner. I'm using kind of as wetting drops for the brush. If this had been water, it would get contaminated with the color of other stuff, but it's almost like the color doesn't stick to it. I don't know, almost like brush oil. I don't know what it is. I'm really enjoying working with it though. I wish I'd discovered it sooner, but because the biggest problem I have is I'm using such little paint and I paint slowly that the paint that I have on the brush ends up starting to set. And in doing so, what happens is I get clumps at the end of the brush. And this seems to counteract that. So I'm really happy with how it's working out. It's kind of a by accident. It almost behaves like lubricated water. So um, I wouldn't use it to clean my brushes in it. This is just for this stuff right here. All right, let's add some more sunny skin tone. All right, is it time to do the crossbow itself? I think so. What color did I use? Oh, this one. That's what it is. Let's see where it is. Coat the arms. It's a British khaki, I believe. Where did I leave it at? I didn't think I put it away. Here it is. The one with a cracked lid. This is like a World War II British uniform color. Northwest Europe, British uniform color. I didn't put enough of this stuff down. Let's go grab this guy. Let's put some more of this stuff down here to work with. There we go. Yeah, let's get us a new black. And try to finish this guy up and then take a break. Okay. Now we'll come in and go up a level. I was looking at the description of some of these light horse guys in Armies of Medieval Europe, Volume 2, that a lot of these figures are based on. And these guys in particular, you know, because it looks like they've got a cloak on, a hoodie, but then the front of it is like been, you know, folded back. So I'm like, okay, let's read about these guys. And he said they came from some illustration. They have a white cloak on and a pink tunic. Yeah, we won't be doing that because it just doesn't look right. It's weird. It's like they've got the front of the cloak peeled back so they can see. I don't think they were wearing it to be incognito. Yep. Sometimes you got to take some things with a grain of salt, you know? Like, okay, they say they're painted like this, but that just doesn't look like it's going to have the desired effect. So I don't have a problem with paint, but, you know, I think it was, I mean, did it on the chieftain's cloak and in the Irish army, and I really thought it wasn't going to work out. And I guess it worked out okay. But yeah, sometimes the reality can be too strange to be believable. A little bit more, so it'll be comparable to the color of the other one. And we're just gonna hit some crucial areas here. Okay, looks comparable now. Cool. All right, we got a belt. We got a belt. We got the container for the crossbow bolts, and we have a sword and some shoes, and we're done with this guy. We'll come back and highlight his hat, his helmet. So. Now, this container, we don't want to make it the same color that we did the other one because they're a totally different container. All right, so let's go ahead and get a couple of lottery colors. I'm going to do this color for the scabbard. Le Scabbard. That one should be renamed Irish Javelin Yellow. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do these metallic parts that are here. Okay. Saddle brown. All right. Yeah, we need more of that lubrication there. Keep that flowing smooth. Okay. Okay. Let's do this handle of the sword. I think we just made a gray color over here. All right, and we got some shoes. I'm gonna leave the shoes for last. We're gonna go ahead and highlight the helmet now, because I don't want to scuff up where the shoes are, because that invariably ends up getting scuffed up as I turn the figure around. Okay, that's done. Let's do some shoes, and we're done with this guy. This guy's got brown boots, so let's not be boring and do brown boots. We could do like a red leather color, or we could do a light color. That's probably what would probably work out better. Yeah. Let's do this. What is this? Skeleton bone. And we are probably going to spray these guys. Maybe not. Maybe we'll wait until the Armati and we'll do the stand of solid blades and the stand of Saloy together. Okay, so let's take some of this color, mix these two together. Maybe a little bit more of that. Okay, there you have it. Bam, done. So we got 2 crossbow guys done this morning. Yeah, Bruce Savoy stand for the Hungarians. So, okay, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we may be on later today. But thanks for joining me, and happy painting, folks. Bye bye.